Hello and welcome to MINIGAME, a podcast about video game stories and why we love them. I'm Michael Ferris. I'm the kind of person who, when overwhelmed, likes to take long drives in the dark. No real destination in mind or any goal. In a world that increasingly feels out of control, having just a little time away from your problems can be a very good thing. And the repetition in driving makes for a really therapeutic action. The world around you seems to change when driving in the dark. People seem to disappear on the roads, and places that remain open feel like an oasis, a home away from home. This is the kind of world that also inhabits one of my favorite games in the new Apple Arcade service. It's called NeoCab. You've probably heard the general setup for NeoCab a million times before in science fiction. In the near future, most aspects of people's lives are controlled by one company and their AI-driven products and services. Thus, many jobs are now automated and humans are struggling to find their place in the world. You play as Lena Romero, one of the last human cab drivers. You move to the big city in order to move in with your best friend, but before you can make the move, she goes missing, and your days are filled with taking gigs to scrape another enough cash to pay for housing, all the while trying to uncover the mystery surrounding your friend's disappearance. Unlike most futuristic stories of the same ilk, it already feels like we have one foot into the world of NeoCab. Many low-wage jobs have already been relegated to a gig status. Fully automated transportation can already be found on the open road, and conglomerates are gobbling up businesses left and right. What makes NeoCab truly special to me is the conversations that you have with your passengers. Since your passengers rate you on a 5-star scale at the end of every trip, you have to be an engaging host in addition to being a good driver. The conversations themselves remind me of the kind of inane but weirdly profound conversations that you end up having with your friends late at night, usually after a few too many drinks, and long since common sense has been thrown out the window. Some of my favorite passengers have been an older woman re-entering the dating scene, a pair of German men who are convinced that you are a robot, and a bald man who just keeps going around to abandoned places to do weird cult stuff. Each passenger you meet feels like a nice temporary friend. You say hi and listen to their problems for a while, and they leave and hopefully give you a good rating on the rideshare app. The only real relationship that Lena has is missing. And so you fill your life with these weird parasocial relationships to at least have some form of human companionship in a world in which humans are increasingly devalued. And this brings me to one of my favorite mechanics in NeoCab, and that is your mental health. You are quickly given a bracelet that changes colors depending on your mental state. Green for happy, red for angry, you get the idea. Think like a mood ring from the 90s, but in this case, real. With every passenger you pick up and other events you happen to come across in your investigation of your friend's disappearance, your mood fluctuates, and that dictates what kind of responses you can give during conversations. For example, a passenger of mine wanted to change their pickup location, but the only parking available would be illegal parking. I risked it and went along my way. A few hours later, the police pulled me over and I got ticketed for close to half of my money. Lena's mood, obviously, went to shit. So I pick up another passenger trying to pay off this ticket, and my only dialogue options were either angry or completely passive, basically ignoring my passenger's problems. The only reprieve from this mental state was a nice night's sleep, either in some sort of futuristic bed pod or on someone's couch. I like the system more so than the BioWare good guy, bad guy system, or even Telltale's dialogue options in their games. In NeoCab, mental health is a resource you have to manage, and it creates a bond between you and Lena. If a passenger pisses you off or you get a ticket, it'll probably not be a good idea to then immediately follow a lead in your investigation, since your mood will likely dictate and limit what you can do and say. Despite its futuristic setting, NeoCap is a perfect game for 2019 society, tackling mental health and economic instability with an empathetic hand. One of the selling points of the Apple Arcade service is that it's a way for more developers to tell more unique and personal stories. And if games like NeoCab are any indication, I cannot wait to explore more stories there. Thank you very much for listening. Executive producer of the Lore Party Podcast Network is Abu Zafar. Minigame is written and produced by Michael Ferris. Original music for Minigame is produced by Lawrence Kelly. Follow Lore Party on Twitter and Instagram at lore_party. And check out our website at loreparty.com. Subscribe to Minigame in your favorite podcasting app and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps me grow the show. Thank you very much for listening.